everyone, welcome to Your Dream Live. And I'm Tara Maxwell.
And I'm AJ.
And we wanted to talk today about really how do you go from where you are now to absolutely realizing your dream, and how you can do it a lot quicker than most people take if you're going by linear time. And one of the pitfalls that I see among so many people, and maybe you can relate to this, is, are you waiting for permission? And are you giving yourself permission to take that next step? So we just got back from this week-long retreat, the Vortex retreat up in the Chiripo Mountains, with some amazing thought leaders. We were co-leading with them.
Awesome.
It was an awesome experience. It was also a deep dive for us. And the thing about it is that, or the challenge about it, is that it was on our kids. Two of our kids were having spring break. And, it was a challenge because, what do you do? What's the dilemma here? Do you go ahead and go to that retreat, even if it means that your kids are going to be behind? And they had good childcare, and we wanted them to come, but they didn't want to come. They had some friends visiting in town, and they wanted to stay at home. Now, a lot of people that I know, like I was talking to a client the other day, potential client, and she really wanted to come to our retreat. Our retreat is sold out.
So awesome.
Yeah, so
It's
awesome.
gonna be amazing.
It's going to be in 2 weeks, the A-Life retreat. But she wanted to come to the retreat, but she couldn't, she's feeling blocked about it because she's like, wow, leaving, I could just tell, even though she wasn't vocal about it, like really seeing how she can leave her kids behind. Even though she has a husband, she has other support, she's like, can I do this? And often we have this mind virus that that holds us back from stepping fully into our greatness, from absolutely living on purpose. And so, we got back from this retreat, and I was thinking about this dilemma. Like, here we went to we had this amazing experience for a week, and the question is that bad parenting, or is that enlightened parenting?
Yeah.
Right? And we're curious about, we can have a conversation about that. But at the end of the day, when you drop into your heart and you're connected to your purpose and what you're here to do, and you lead from the heart, you intuitively know what is the best choice for you and for your family. And for us, it can seem counterintuitive, because when we make those choices, I notice a difference in our children. I notice more connection. They learn because we're modeling that it's absolutely important. One of the most important values is living on purpose. And they see that, not through what we talk about. A lot of parents will say,
actions,
oh yes, you can live your dream. Anything you want is possible. But then, are they really living it?
Yeah.
Are they showing it?
Well, I think too the power of actions, right? Our actions. That's what our children watch every day. Our patterns and our actions, and us going away from the family together as a couple. They also see how important our relationship is, and I believe that really grounds them in the harmony of our little our cubs, and that they see
they feel safe
because they see us taking time investing in our relationship, and they grow through that as well, because them being at home with a caretaker, they take on leadership, right? The oldest becomes the leader of the family.
Yeah, and she noticed that it's a little stressful.
And the other two decisions. Younger children look to her as the leader, and there's this harmony that happens within the family when we step into, it's really leadership. It's really
Yeah.
A key element, I think, to really building a strong leadership culture in your family.
That's a really important point because we're stepping up as leaders, and then we're also giving opportunity for our children to be leaders. And if I were like a lot of moms, and I was one of them, a control freak, and trying to think like, well, my kids can't exist without me, or if I'm not like doing every single thing for them or for my husband because I want to be needed, that I need to feel important. If I'm showing up like that, I'm depriving them.
Or we need to take care of them.
Yeah.
I think it's not even. I think a lot of parents, and it's, I need to take care of them. They can't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And when you really kind of step away from that, it's amazing, giving them the autonomy to sink into that leadership.
To make decisions. It's so important for their self-concept. And one of the things I was taught this through Montessori. So my kids went to Montessori from toddler, and they schooled me, trained me that children, they're sentient beings, and they're capable of a lot more than often we give them credit if we're, providing all their meals, doing all their chores for them, and all this stuff. We're depriving them of opportunities. And that was one of the things that I learned, is that when you can foster that independence, and I feel pretty confident that if something were to happen, that my kids know how to make decisions, which a lot of adults don't know how to do.
Right.
To make decisions and make good decisions, sound decisions.
Yeah. And one of the things that you see in this process, my oldest was texting me, and she was making decisions, but checking in as well. But she was trying to figure out a solution. So she came to me with what the situation was in her solution. And to me, that was just so invaluable.
Yeah.
That we gave her the space to really lead herself through a situation. It was, it might be trivial, but at the same time, very powerful. So many learnings happen.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is, and we were guilty of this before, where you make your children the number one, the most important thing, and of course they're uber important, but over your relationship.
And it really, at the sacrifice of yourself, and moving to Costa Rica, I've really seen this in spades for myself, because by overextending yourself, you start to actually resent, what's going on, and because you're not taking care of yourself,
Not setting boundaries.
not making sure there's enough me time, and it's funny how I slipped into that, being here, being home a lot, loving being able to take my kids to school.
We kind of switched roles.
Yeah.
You're daddy.
Yeah, I was gone, most of the time. I missed a lot of stuff, even though I tried really hard to design my work schedule. But things happen, and that's how it goes. And but coming here, I took on with sheer pleasure and delight being able to spend hours with my kids. But at the same time, I saw a lot of things, my gaps of, my patience, ability to, traverse the many dynamics of young kids' lives.
Yeah.
and I wasn't that good at it. I'm like, wow, this stuff is a lot harder, being with the children all the time is incredibly challenging, and anyone that has children, especially moms out there, my hat goes out to all of you, just because it's such a huge, important role in our society, in our world, and how you manage that with patience and kindness and love is amazing.
Yeah.
And so, taking on that hat, trying to do that role, I really learned, you have to step back sometimes and take care of yourself so that you can show up so much more
Choose.
powerfully. Yeah, choose.
Choose yourself first. You have to choose yourself first. It's kind of like, putting on the oxygen mask first before you help those when you're in the plane, if there was an emergency. And so, just showing our kids that our relationship and our love and the solidity of that connection is the most important, actually is a greater measure of love, because then they feel safe, then they feel secure, and we're also modeling relationship, we're modeling how to show up. And so there's a lot about, on these, when we talk about your dream life and how do you consciously create your reality, how do you take from where you are now to living your dream? And whether that's, living in paradise here in Costa Rica, whether it's designing your ideal family, whether it's bringing in your love, the love of your life, having the work and the company that really exemplifies who you are and your message and the work you're here to do in the world, whatever that is, it's really important to stop waiting for permission from family, from someone else to say, yeah, it's okay, go ahead, choose yourself first, go ahead, pursue your dream, like seize it, claim it. There's this mind virus that happens where you're like, I see this pattern a lot among many, where you're waiting for permission from others, and it delays you stepping into your brilliance. And so who gives yourself permission? You give yourself permission. We didn't wait. If we were waiting for permission from family to take this leap, we would still be in the U.S.
Yeah, because we all have our lens that we look through, right? And our family, they want the best for you, right? And they always do. Your mom and dad, that's all, it's a lot of their purpose in life is making sure their children have amazing lives. And so,
Yeah.
But they also have filters, and they also bring, their perspective and their fears and insecurities. And so when you're looking at doing something that is really courageous, sometimes, the reaction can be very visceral, because you're bringing up stuff in them.
It triggers things for them.
And
yeah.
so, they can have all the best intentions, but really we have to lead with our heart and really choose that because that's our, if we're not leading with our heart and our passion and our purpose, then we're living someone else's life.
Or we're living in fear. And then what does that teach our children? What does that teach the other people that are in our life and in our tribe when we're held back by fear and limiting beliefs? So I believe that it is number one importance is to give yourself permission, to drop into your heart, get really clear. Is this the next step? Whatever that thing is for you, and to take that leap. Because every time you do, you exercise that muscle of trusting yourself and believing in yourself and listening to higher self, listening to our intuition. And so and then we get stronger and stronger, and our light grows brighter.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So that's all we wanted to share for Your Dream Live. If you like what we were sharing or something resonates with you, go ahead and post a comment below. We want to hear from you. Share this with your friends about giving yourself permission. Because the more that we step into this, the more that we give ourselves permission to follow our heart and to follow our dreams, we create a ripple effect on this planet. Sending you lots of love.
Lots of love.